So when we decided that we're now going to move Kumusha, we triaged things into greens, orange, and red. And in the red, we were never going to move for as long as the things in the red were not taken care of. So number 1 was water, which we've done with the borehole. Number 2 was power. And number 3 was connectivity. Since we were already connected and we had water, the next thing was to deal with power. We had to build a powerhouse as the first thing, because everything that we needed to do subsequently on the homestead to build it and bolster it would have needed some sort of power. So we got a 6 kVA solar system, a 6 kVA generator from Genking, and then we also have a smaller petrol generator. I don't know the power of that one, but that one is the mobile one. It's the one that we move around when we need to do extra work that is far away from the power station. But you ask why a power station, why not put your electricals all in the same house? Was because we thought about the expansion plan. We are very solid on design for scale. Wherever you're going, make sure that your initial design allows you to build on it without falling apart. So the powerhouse made sense because for the chalets that we're building and our own house, we'll be able to distribute power accordingly. And if the chalets are not occupied, then you can always switch a breaker down so that you don't have power moving to different directions where it's not needed. But our powerhouse was not built with simple buy bricks, buy this, buy that. We had a lot of things that we had to think about. At first, our research was that if we use blocks, it would take about 13 blocks per square meter to build. And we thought, okay, this is much more affordable than trying to move bricks from Harare and the calculations of just moving bricks so bricks are cheaper in Harare. So using YouTube, we then learned that you can get up to 33 blocks per bag of cement, right? And we thought, okay, this is much more valuable, so let's do that. And we did, though, put our average at 30 bricks instead of 33. And we did get more. Some would get 35, some would get 32, but we used 30 as our average. Why we did that was to include breakages and so on and so on. By the end of the process, we had put in about 7 bags in total for the powerhouse, and we got about 165 bricks. Those bricks were sufficient to build the powerhouse in itself. But at this point, we hadn't thought about, there's a powerhouse. It can house our inverter because we're going to bolt it on the wall. The battery is also bolted on the wall. The generator is caged in, so that was fine. But there needs to be some extra security, and we hadn't thought about, where would our employees stay? And then we're like, let's just expand from the powerhouse and have a guard room. So that's how we have a 3-room cottage that's there.
So would I recommend you doing your own concrete blocks? I think it's actually quite a good way of saving a lot of cash. We discovered that if we can get the cement on the ground, a lot of the other raw materials like gravel, river sand is normally available on the homestead. So instead of paying 90 cents per block, we ended up shaving the price of the block, because if you divide the cost of a bag of cement, we were using Shorecast 42. That's about $12 a bag, and that bag was generating us about 33 bags. So if you take that and then you divide that by 33, each block was costing about 36 cents, because the raw materials of the river sand, and water, were all available on the homestead. Now, I know if you look at these videos, it always looks like my wife is the one who's doing the lifting and carrying. But remember, she does not want to use her phone to video these things. So if I let my wife video, we would miss out all the action. And you're lucky that I film so much. So it's not that I don't do any work. I actually do. But every now and then I'm the one who's the cameraman. And I have to edit the videos. So please forgive me. Some of the things that you need to be very mindful of is that when we were starting the project, we took the builder on site before the bricks, the gravel, and the water was on site, which was a serious waste of time and money because the builders, they are there to get paid for the days that they work. And I think it was a big mistake on our behalf when we started building the power station to get to site with all the bricks at Kumbuya's location. It was all the stuff was still from Kumbuya's location. The farm bricks and stuff was still in the big field, about a kilometer away. We had not got water on the ground yet. So one thing that's really important to remember is that when your builder gets on site, they don't want to f around. They want to have all materials ready on the ground. We're talking brick forces, dam courses, the bricks, the river sand, the jecha, the 3/4 stones. All that needs to be on the ground. Because if you don't do that, you end up wasting a lot of time. We even didn't have the foundations dug deep enough, because these foundations were dug whilst we're not there. And the builders were like, this is too shallow. We need to go an extra meter down. And all of those things you can't expect the builder to do because he has to then charge you more money. So the more you can do before the builder comes, the cheaper it is for you in the long run to get the job done.
With adding the 3-room cottage, at this point, we had just learnt about farm brick. I know, right? You'd think that we would know that as the first thing wanting to build a homestead. But then we found that trying to do the farm brick was going to be better, to do the farm brick was going to be cheaper and faster for us than, number one, trying to buy cement and then sending it to Gutu for the bricks to be made. And as luck will have it, our neighbor in Mzukuru, dinner, so they did that, and I think we commissioned about 15,000 bricks. That was also going to include our house at the start. So from the 15,000, an extra 2,500 bricks went into doing the powerhouse. And we used about 7 Maratha. Bought them at the nearest growth point, which is Nika growth point for us, and then Gumpoles and timber we used from the farm. For our foundation, we had to get stones, so we got them from up the mountain because we have a mountain within the farm, and we got stones there. And we also got gravel at the more bottom part of the mountain where it's mixed up with the sand. We got the gravel, then we bought 3/4 stones. I think we bought about 2 cubes of 3/4 stones from Bikita Minerals. So all in all, for us to build the powerhouse, we're in for 350 plus the builder, which was about 150 because I paid him using EcoCash. 150. So all in for the powerhouse, we went in for $500.
One of the major lessons when we started the powerhouse was to start quickly adapting and using the resources that were available on the ground. Being able to use the gum trees planted by my grandfather years ago, for example, saves us a huge amount of cash. From Nika Growth Point, we're paying about $5 to $6 per pole, whereas being able to just use our chainsaw and chop down these trees has been a blessing because we can do a lot of our builds using timber. For example, the temporary solar stand on top of the powerhouse, we just made out of Gumpoles. Now, it doesn't look pretty per se, but it's strong. It's bolted to the roof. It can't be moved by wind, and it enables us to be able to use the power generated by the 6 kVA to do other things on the farm, including well pumps, bore pumps, and drills, welding machines, etc., and also give us power. Lights, etc., for when we're actually building. So using the resources on the ground is imperative when you're building. We need to add some extra solar panels. Some guy in Nika is trying to charge me $700 for a metal frame. So I said, F it, I'm going to use my grandfather's Gumpoles. So we drew this on a piece of paper and now we have formed it. And this will now sit adjacent to the put this photovoltaic adjacent to the powerhouse so that we can add extra solar panels, and that will increase our capacity by double, which will give us now a lot more power, so we can add batteries and stuff, and also we can have more power during the day for some three-phase products, which is great. So yeah, use the tools that you have on the ground. We are using the tools we have on the ground. See, so instead of spending $700, we made this motherfucker with some nails, a hammer, and a bit of time. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. It saves you a lot of money in the long run. Just being able to get river sand and gravel and stuff from the ground on the farm, Gumpoles, saving us copious amounts of money. Getting 3/4 stones crushed from the rocks on the mountain, again another big saving. This is what made us able to bring this powerhouse in at under $500, and that's an absolute steal. In Harare, it would be impossible to raise a 3-room anything for $500, even if it's a wooden cabin, and yet we managed to pull this off with very minimal spend and just a lot of time. And like my wife always says, what you don't have in money, you have in time. My God, what a wow. Other one.